Hello, beautiful. Welcome to Bonnets and Pillow Talk with me, your host, Miss Fuzzo. Today is day 18 of 75 of the 75 Hard Challenge. I'm so excited to have you back for another day. I'm going to start with the rules of the challenge and then end with a quick lesson of the day. So, for the diet, I am doing intermittent fasting for 16 hours and then eating for 8 hours. The highlight by far of my day was my diet today. I had a African chicken that I sourced from an African store that is really close to my house, and it was a phenomenal experience. I cooked it with rice and I had it with some coleslaw, as you should. Full African wedding style, had some Coca-Cola. I mean, experienced the full thing actually with eating. So if you know, I've been struggling between 12 and 1. I'm so hungry. Today I lost. Like the hunger versus me, I lost today. So I ate at 1:30. So my window today was 1:30 to 9:30. For water, we're drinking a gallon of water. I finished just after dinner. So I'd say maybe around 10 p.m. is when I finished my water for the day. Our exercise, we did a double workout technically, because my day was just jam packed. I really couldn't separate the two. And technically I did it outside because it was outside on my balcony. Um, I just didn't have the capacity to be outside of the house. I had to be inside the house today. So that was our workout. I'm gonna link it in the description if you wanna check it out. It was really like burny. Like, whoo, I might need like an Epsom salt bath at the end of this week. My muscles, my body just aches. It acheth. It aches. The book we're reading is Eight Rules of Love by Jay Shetty, and then our 30 minutes of God time we're gonna do just before we go to bed. Generally speaking, I think the challenge is going well. The things that I think are going well is that I'm being able to create a routine. I just need to now establish what I do with different chunks of time. Now that I know when I read and I know when I exercise and I know, generally speaking, that structure is now the same. It kind of looks the same every day. So now I have those systems in place and I kind of have them factored in with my schedule. I now actually want to be intentional about having like a proper functioning morning routine, a proper functioning evening routine. I want to have like time allocations for creative time, for writing. I want to finish my book this year. For writing my book, I want to be really intentional about creating time for the things that I want to achieve this year. This is also based on my first quarter review that I did yesterday. So I'm just trying to create more intentional time for the goals that I have set for this year. So that's how the challenge is going. So far, so good. The only thing that I think I'm really struggling with is food. I'm hungry. I am hungry. Between 12 and 1, I'm so hungry. Um, but it's okay. We drink water, we take a nap, we see a friend, we figure it out. We grown, we can manage. So, yeah. And then our lesson of the day today, I was on Pinterest trying to find some inspiration for a poster idea that I had. And I needed to get some color inspiration from there. And it basically, I ran across like a series of these like quote posts, these like quote posters. And one of them kind of stuck out to me, and I'm going to share it with you. And it basically says, and I quote, make sure your worst enemy doesn't live between your ears. And what I got from that was I need to be really mindful of how I talk to myself, because self-talk is really important. And sometimes when we have really negative self-talk, we become the bullies that we are running away from on the outside. and we let those bullies become ourselves. We become the people who tear ourselves down. We become the people who shoot down the idea before we even go for it. We become the person who has disbelief before anybody else can even have belief for you. I think sometimes we are our own, lack of a better word, our own enemy of progress. And sometimes the progress is not happening because of the person that we're talking to ourselves so badly in our minds. We're talking to ourselves so badly in our hearts. We are literally tearing ourselves down internally, and other people don't even have to do any of the work. Like, they just become like, the feather that broke the camel's back, because we've already done all the damaging, all the tearing down, all the criticism internally. And I think for me, what this made me realize is that I really need to be careful of the jokes I make at my own expense. I need to be very careful of the words I say about myself in the mirror when I'm trying on things, when I'm doing a new project, when I'm just living in the world. I need to be really, really careful of what I'm thinking and saying about myself every day. And I know sometimes we say in society, I think we are really comfortable with this idea of self deprecation. I think we kind of bond on being like, oh, my life is bad. Woe was me. Me too. Woe was me. Um, Actually, sidebar. Excuse my ADHD brain, but sidebar. My friend and I were talking about this the other day, and I was telling her that I really was so scared to get married because people had given me such a bad rep of marriage. Because everybody talks about all these bad things about marriage. And don't get me wrong, like, marriage can have some really challenging moments. But I kept telling her, like, I wish more married people just sat down and said, like, bro, this is the beauty of marriage. This is the beauty of partnership. This is the beauty of the friendship that you find in marriage. This is like the enjoyment. Nobody told, like, I feel like I keep expecting like this thing to change, but I'm actually realizing it's just because a lot of people are more comfortable bonding on the negative things than they are with bonding over or celebrating or being perceived as bragging over the positive things that are happening in their lives. And I think for me, I don't want to internalize that. I want to make sure that even if nobody else celebrates me, I celebrate myself. Even if nobody else sees my beauty, I see my beauty myself. I mean, I need to have a certain level of delulu about myself. I need to have a certain level of like, oof, I'm the one and the only in this world. I need to have a certain level of like, yes, I am the one and the only. You can't say nothing to me. I need to have a certain level of like, I am so intelligent. You couldn't even tell me nothing. I could run around circles. I need to have a certain level of like confidence within myself that is independent of anybody else, but dependent in my own strength within myself and Jesus, because I wouldn't be who I am today without him. But my own ability to believe in myself, I want it to be so strong, the point where I don't need any external. I can get it, but I don't need it. You know what I'm saying? So I think today I really had to think about for myself. Um, how how am I speaking to myself? How am I speaking kindly to myself? Am I speaking with love to myself? If I was to treat another human being the way that I treat myself, if I was to say the words that I say to myself to another human being, would I be cool with that? And if I'm not cool with that, then I might need to change a few things. Um, and I think we can always change. I'm a big believer in you can always change your mind, you can always pivot, you can always try something different, and you can always start today. So I'm gonna ask you and just say this out and allow you to reflect on it, right? Um, Maybe I'll ask it as a question. Are you the worst enemy that lives between your ear, right? Make sure your worst enemy doesn't live between your ears. I hope you have a beautiful day. This has been day 18 of 75 of the 75 Hard Challenge. I've been your host, Miss Fuzzo, and this has been Bonnets and Pillow Talk with me. I love you. I appreciate you. Remember, you are so beautiful or handsome. You can do anything that you set your mind to do. You can start afresh and you can change your mind. And guess what? You're enough. The way you are, where you are, you're enough. And you're doing just what you need to be doing right now. And if you feel like you need to do more, you have the ability, you have the capacity to do and be so much more. Whatever you desire, you can do it. The fact that you have the desire means you have the ability to do it. So do it. At least try. At least try. I love you. I'm rooting for you. I'll see you tomorrow for day 19 of the 75 Hard Challenge. I love you. I appreciate you. Bye.